If you have tons of leads but they don't convert, they are useless. So, what I want to walk you through today is what's actually going wrong and where your system is breaking and what you can do to have more qualified leads. So, the first thing we will talk about is targeting because it's highly likely that you are attracting the wrong people. So let's start with your targeting because most low quality leads they don't come from bad marketing, they actually come from unclear targeting. If your message is broad, you're going to attract everyone, and then when you're attracting everyone, you are also attracting people who are just curious. They're not ready, they are not a fit. So let's take an example. If you say something like, I help business owners grow, that could mean anything. People understand it broadly, but they don't really understand why it applies to them, and that's why they don't show interest. They haven't understood exactly what it is inside the business that you fix, that you can help solve. Like, do you help fix inventory? Do you help hiring staff? Or do you help with funding? Do you help with sales? So, just saying that you help with business growth is so fuzzy that you are not defining the clear problem for them and no clear outcome. Now, here's how I would refine this instead. I help service businesses generate leads and convert them into clients through content and conversations. Now that's specific. And somebody can immediately understand if this is for them or if this is not for them. And that's the goal. Because targeting is about increasing relevance. And relevance is what drives the higher quality leads. Now, the next thing I want to talk about here is messaging, because it's likely that your message is not driving clarity. And here's a trap that most business owners fall into, especially when they're first launching a service. They figure that they can do multiple things, so they can sell multiple things. And that is like trying to jump in 5 different directions at the same time. Because how will you message and drive clarity for each of the things that you want to do? Because the question is not what you can do. Question is what your prospective clients can understand that you do. And I'm doubling on this because message fuzziness is where most leads fall off. Your messaging does 2 things: it attracts and it qualifies. When your messaging is broad, it invites everyone. And when everyone feels included, the wrong people come in. High quality leads come from specificity. This includes clearly defining who the person is, the role, their industry, the stage where they're at, what are they currently struggling with, what they have already tried, and what is the level that they are operating at. When your messaging is clear, the right people can recognize themselves immediately. And when it is unclear, then people actually engage out of curiosity and not intent. That's the difference. For example, if you say something like, struggling in your business, that creates interest. So you're getting leads, but they won't convert into clients. Create clarity, and then the right people will come in. And by the way, messaging does not apply to only ads or your content. It also applies to your conversations as well. So if you're asking something like, tell me about your goals, you're actually keeping things really general. But if you say something specific, like you're getting inquiries but not converting, so what's really happening there? Now you are helping them define the problem. And once the problem is clear, then decision making becomes easier. Now, the third thing to keep in mind is lead filters, how you are optimizing your leads. So let's talk about how people enter your world, because here's the reality. If it's easy entry, that means low commitment. More steps means higher intent. Adding steps in the process increases the seriousness of the lead. For example, clicking a link, low commitment. Filling a form, moderate commitment. Answering detailed questions, that is higher commitment. And booking a call is even higher commitment. Each step requires effort, and effort signals intent. Many business owners try to remove all the friction to increase the leads that they are getting in. But what they're actually doing is lowering the bar so much that unqualified people also enter the pipeline. So, friction is not a bad thing when you use it correctly. It acts as a filter that ensures that only the right people and genuinely interested people continue with you. This doesn't mean making things difficult to enter. It means making sure that the right people continue and the wrong people drop off early. More steps will filter your leads, and that's how you stop wasting your time on people who were never going to buy anyway. Now, the fourth step I want you to take away is that qualification should happen before the sales call. One of the biggest mistakes I see businesses make is that they leave qualification too late. Many businesses use sales call to figure out if the lead is a good fit or not. But by that time has already been spent with the lead, and the lead was perhaps never serious to even begin with. So, qualification should be happening before outreach, your targeting. It should be happening during outreach, your messaging, and before the call, that is your questions, your forms. A qualified lead has a real problem. They have the ability to pay you, and they have the authority to decide. If those things are missing, that's not a sales issue, it's a qualification issue. So let's take an example again. Let's say someone says, I'm just exploring options. That's not a buyer, that's an early stage lead. So trying to close them will only create friction. So instead, just give value and move on, because your time is not for convincing. The goal is to ensure that by the time someone gets on a call, they are already a strong fit for you. So now let's do a quick recap. The real challenge is not just generating leads. It is actually generating relevant, interested, and ready leads. Because without that, more leads only create more work without more results. So stop. Stop acting too broadly. Stop with unclear messaging, and stop inviting everyone in and qualifying them too late. Intent matters a lot more than volume, because leads don't grow your business, better leads do. Now, if you are getting leads but they're not turning into clients, this is exactly the kind of problem that I help people solve. So if you want me to take a look at your content, your messaging, and your sales flow, and just show you what's actually breaking, then you can book a 15-minute chat with me. We'll go through what's happening in your business, and I'll give you direct feedback on what needs to shift.